Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm very honored to join the sixth annual conference on language, linguistic translation, and literature. Today I'm going to present about my research paper on the topic of a syntactical analysis of online article published on coronavirus pandemic. Here are the content of our presentation. The first one, we will show you about the introduction. The second is the statement of problem. The third is literature review. The fourth is our research methodology. The fifth, we will show you about our research finding. And the last one, we will talking about discussion and conclusion. In the context of Cambodian newspaper, there are 460 print outlets. Khmer written text published online. There are 120 online newspapers. By January 2020, there are 9.7 million internet users in Cambodia and 21.24 million mobile connections. Here is our statement of problem. We saw that the sentence structure are lazy, incorrect grammar form, difficult to understand, and inconsistent of the coronavirus spelling. And our objective of study, there are 5. First one, we want to analyze the syntactical of Cambodian online news article that published during COVID-19. Second, to illustrate average length of article, paragraphs, and sentences published in popular online newspaper in Khmer in comparison to academic text for grade 12 and undergraduate students. To understand the language used in Khmer journalistic writing, and the last one, to provide a description of feature of Khmer professional newspaper writing style to inform implication for Cambodian newspaper readability, comprehensibility, and information function. Here are our literature review. And this is the result or the suggestion from our former researcher. Like in 1999, Baber AR suggested that a sentence length of 20 words related to new report text. In 2001, Rosell suggested that sentence ranging from 15 to 25 words focus on a comprehensive information for public communication. And in 2007, Smith suggested that the journalist to use the average sentence length of 20 words. And here are some other literature review that are the important input into our research paper. However, I'm not going to talk much about this part. Here is the total number of articles that we collected, listed by newspaper and date. Like we start to collect the data from 23rd to 29 January 2020, and we selected the article from the 4 online popular news in Cambodia. The first one we call Fresh News. The second one is Readability Cambodia. The third is Thmay, and the last one is Sabai. And like you see, on 23rd, Fresh News only write 5 articles about the coronavirus, and Readability Cambodia only 6, Thmay only 2, and Sabai only 2. So in total, by Fresh News, during 1 week, we collected 124 articles about the coronavirus and 83 from Readability Cambodia that wrote about the coronavirus. And Thmay, we collected 36 articles, and Sabai, we collected only 34 articles. In total, among the 4 online newspapers, we collected 277 articles that talking about coronavirus. Here is our research methodology, research design and instruction. We use the method, qualitative and quantitative method, and we divide 2 time analysis, individual for 30 text. It means that I collected 30 text from the 2 online news, and another 30 text are collected by my friend. And we randomly selected 2 text to analyze as a pilot by counting paragraphs, sentences, verses, and time required for each analysis. And then we form out the content and statistical analysis. We're using Phang Khmer line breaking program by using the standard dictionary of Khmer language. And after that, The outcome of our experimental breakdown were verified by a third experienced and academic scholar. We invite our professor to help us to check if we have any mistake. After that, the counting sentences were defined by the full stop in Khmer, and here is the full stop sign in Khmer language, exclamation mark and question mark. However, all the records were not analyzed in this study. Data collection procedure. We look up article by using such a keyword as corona, corona, and corona on the entire website. Even they have 3 different spelling, but they still refer to the corona word, coronavirus word. And all articles were copied and pasted on a Microsoft Word program for archiving as a text data path for analysis later. And our data analysis and statistical procedure, we divide into 2 parts. Part 1, use find and replace in Microsoft Word program, paragraph mark to count the word and sentences. After that, include the picture, headline, caption, name of the author and date of publication. And we used XPAF version 25 as the tool for our data analysis. For the descriptive statistic, we provide information on frequency, distribution, mean, standard, deviation, and rank to count word, sentence, and paragraph. Word, sentence, paragraph count conducted at sentence, paragraph, and text level. For the past 2, we put every sentence in chronological order in Excel program. After that, we analyze all the sentence type, simple sentence, complex sentence, and compound complex sentence. And to ensure a high level of reliability in classify Khmer sentences into the 3 types. And here is the average sentence length, estimate school grade completed, and readability that study by Fresh in 1948, Dubai 2004, and Wikidot in 2020. This is the average sentence length in word, estimate school grade completed, readability. So, for example, if the word in a sentence is 8 or less than 8, it means that the school grade is 4 and the readability is very easy. If the word in the sentence is 17 words, it means that the book is for grade 7 or grade 8 and the readability is standard. But if the word up to 29 or more than that, it means that the book is for the college study and the readability is very difficult. And our data analysis and statistical procedure, we want to find the answer for our 2 research questions. The first research question is that we want to know what is the average length of articles, paragraphs, and sentences published in the 4 popular online newspapers in Khmer in comparison to the academic text for grade 12 and undergraduate students. Our data source, we got it from 4 Khmer online newspaper and Khmer academic textbook for grade 12 and undergraduate student. And data analysis, we refer to the mean, standard, deviation, mark, mean, and independent sample test. For the question, our research number 2 is that we want to know what type of sentences are more commonly used in the articles collected from the 4 online news. And our data source is from the 4 online newspaper that we collected the data. And data analysis is frequency, mean, standard, deviation, mark, and mean. So I'm going to stop my part from this slide, and the second part, my friend going to show you until the end. Thank you so much.
Sotheara, for your presentation. Let me continue to research finding. Now you look at the table. The total number of the title, paragraph, sentences, and repeated word analyzed in the study. For online newspaper to study, ថ្មី Spy, Fresh News, ស្មី Cambodia. The total of articles of 4 online newspaper were 60 articles, the paragraph 274, and the sentences to 442 and the non-repeated word 2,488 words, and the overall word repeated word 14,318 words. Let me continue to another slide. Total number of the 4 newspaper analyzed in this study mean the 4 online newspaper conclude the number of words in an article. It means mean 238.63 and the standard deviation 132.30. The number of the paragraph in an article, the mean 4.57 and the standard deviation 2.09. The number of the sentence in an article, or the mean 7.37 and the standard deviation 3.59. The number of words in a paragraph, the mean 53.07 and the standard deviation 18.13. The number of words in a sentence, the mean 33.25 and the standard deviation 10.61. The next table to show the difference between newspaper and online and text. P-value less than 0.05, but the result of p-value 0.155. The result showed that there was no significant difference between online newspaper and academic text. The mean of online newspaper 33.25 and standard deviation 10.60, and the mean of academic text 34.30 and the standard deviation 21.02. The next slide related to the research question number 2. The 4 online newspaper analyze the quotation, simple sentence, complex sentence, compound and complex sentence. I want to clarify that led to this simple, complex and compound complex sentence based on the Khmer grammar style to use only 3 styles: the simple sentence, complex sentence and compound complex sentence. For online newspapers, based on the number of quotation in article, it means that 12, mean 1.58 and standard deviation 101, and the number of simple sentence in article 48 number in the 2.40 and 1.51 standard deviation, and the number of complex sentence in an article 3.46 and the standard deviation 2.09. The number of compound complex sentences in an article 2.37 and 1.57. The next pie chart to show the 4 types of the quotation sentence, simple sentence, and compound complex sentence and complex compound sentence. And in the 4 quotation include 19 sentences equal 4% were useless in the 4 online article. The most used for the complex sentences 194 sentences and the equal 44%, and the equal similar meaning similar percentage simple sentence and compound complex sentence and 26%. The next discussion and conclusion. The result of the study showed that the try to answer the first question, the mean of newspaper 33.25 standard deviation 10.60 was significantly smaller than the mean of academic text, 34.30 and standard deviation 21.02 at the 0.5 level and T minus 0.35 and DF at 123. The number of the words in a sentence in academic text and the 4 popular online newspapers was not significant different at 2.049 and p-value 0.155. The findings show that the newspaper and academic text was the same written volume, and the readability and comprehensibility was very difficult. Hereby, for popular online newspaper for appropriate college students. The number of words in a sentence length is likely to use much syntactic form a word group, including sentences, clauses, and phrases. In this study, consistent with the statement by MC Nanmara L. 2010, and inconsistent with the Bieber, Jonathan, Lake, Conrad, and Finnegan 1999, Rosell 2001, and Smith 2007. The second result to show that the majority of the complex sentence were used in 4 popular online newspapers. The result showed that the complex sentence is very easy to extend the syntactic category, clauses, and the phrases. The findings are likely to be effective reporters conjoining sentences determine when the assessing learner and the quality of the sentence logic in the journal articles. The study consistent with the statement by Bambergs and Mahan 1991, Hernes and Human 1998, Poole 2001, Red 1994, and Buckingham 2015, Monopoli and Power 2010. To conclusion of this study, the first conclusion to the findings showed that the newspaper and academic text were the same, or suggesting that the reading value and the readability comprehensibility are relatively difficult. The first online newspaper examined in the study are appropriate for the college student. Long sentence could result from the another tendency to pack many word groups, including clauses and phrases, into a sentence. The findings show that the authors are likely to prefer sophisticated writing, joining clauses and sentences, reflective of academic and high school writing. Based on the result of the study, so that the sentence length was long and very difficult to readability and comprehensibility by using much phrases and clauses as complex sentence. Thank you so much for your paying attention to listen my presentation.